We are in Hannibal! Did you know that Mark Twain grew up in Hannibal, Missouri? Believe it or not, my dad once helped deliver a boat down the Mississippi, reading Mark Twain books all along the way, and then he passed those stories down to me, as my grandpa did for him, and now I get to explore where it all started, so it is very close to my heart. Today, we are diving into the world of Mark Twain, exploring his boyhood home, learning about life along the Mississippi, and even visiting the iconic cave that Mark Twain explored as a boy. I stumbled upon this adventure while driving, and my curiosity got the best of me, so I had to check it out. My goal? To learn all that I can about Mark Twain in T-minus 5 hours. Let's get into it. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Lydia Keene, and I'm on a 3-month work trip across the country in my camper van. I've been traveling part-time since 2015, making a living as a filmmaker, artist, and model. On this trip, in between gigs, I'll be making all of the pit stops along the way to experience all that I can and explore the beauty and history of America. So let's get into it. Mark Twain, here we come. Yeah! Woo! We are on the road. We are cruising in Iowa here. I'm en route to my buddy's place in Kansas City area. I'm gonna go check out his farm. He's gonna give me the whole grand tour. So thanks for joining me along the route. Okay, y'all, I just saw a huge Mark Twain tribute as I'm entering Missouri. It says Boyhood Home and Museum, and it's a 1 mile away, so I'm gonna stop and check it out. I had no idea that he grew up in Hannibal. Everything in this whole town is dedicated to Mark Twain. There's a Zephyr, there's tributes, there's lakes and streets all named after him and his stories, and rightfully so. Okay, it's Mark Twain. But I'm super excited. Yay, let's go. Before we go, can we just admire how cute she's looking today? There we go. The man at the front desk was so nice. He gave me a map and instructions because when you buy your ticket, it actually includes access to a whole bunch of other historic properties which involve Twain's life and works. So yeah, let's explore. When you walk in, the museum is full of Twain's life artifacts, and each room tells a different part of his story. So Samuel Clemens, better known by his pen name Mark Twain, spent his early years in the home we're about to visit. I also learned that he was actually born in Florida, Missouri, but his family moved to Hannibal when he was only 4 years old. Hannibal was a busy river town right on the Mississippi, which in turn inspired many of his stories, which later became the American classics that we know and love today. At age 11, following the sudden death of his father from pneumonia, Twain actually began working as a printer's apprentice, and he left school to help support his family, but working for the newspaper helped him develop his writing skills greatly and provided him access to a ton of different reading materials.
Lived here with his family from 1843 until 1853. Escapades from that time led to many incidents in the adventures of Tom Sawyer. The house itself is Aunt Polly's house in the book. The first room you will enter is the dining room. Here Tom Sawyer took the dreaded painkiller medicine in the story and once fed some to Peter, the family cat, with dramatic results. Peter tore around the room and jumped out a window.
I am in Mark Twain's home. This is so crazy. So right here I'm in the kitchen, and this is where I learned that someone actually had to go to the town pump to fetch water for cooking and cleaning, and then the fireplace was where all of the cooking happened. I also discovered that the Clemens family had a young enslaved child to help them with all of the household chores, and I was really shocked to learn that the little mat on the floor there was the slave's bed so they could start the fire first thing in the morning for cooking breakfast.
The upstairs back bedroom was the boys. From here, Tom would sneak out to go play with Huckleberry Finn. In real life, Sam's younger brother Henry would lie in wait to get Sam in trouble when he returned after nocturnal excursions.
The Clemens family moved to a drugstore across the street in Hannibal, partly due to health concerns and financial struggles after Twain's father died. So it's here where I learned how deeply affected his life was with disease, which was so common at the time, and medical knowledge and treatments were limited. In fact, he poked quite a bit of fun at the quack cures of his time and the awful medicines that he had to take.
My mother heard of a new cure. She didn't select one from the flock haphazardly. No, she chose judiciously, and chose the one she could spare, which was myself.
Now to get to the next spot on the tour, we're going to walk right down the street, and this place is just so charming with historic buildings and local boutiques and antique shops, and it all just reflects the town's character. And I can just imagine Mark Twain sauntering the streets here. It's so, so cool. Look at Lydia's cabinet of curiosities. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited. I got in the museum. Apparently they have 15 original Norman Rockwell paintings, and he donated them before he passed. Okay, so this is by far my most favorite stop along the tour. The Rockwell paintings are upstairs, but the main floor is just pure nostalgia. You'll see recreated scenes from Mark Twain's iconic books everywhere, and you literally get to walk through his stories. So if I'm this excited about it as an adult, kids must be having the time of their lives. Like, what a great way to engage a new generation. Okay, so as we wander upstairs, there's a landing that shares all about Mark Twain's experience working on the riverboats. And I actually had a brief chance to go to the water and visit one of the boats. It's here that I learned more about his later years. So his career as a riverboat pilot started in 1857, and by 1859 he had earned his pilot's license, which was highly respected. I can only imagine with the Mississippi being as unpredictable as it is. And though the Civil War ended his piloting career, his time on the river deeply influenced his writing and his views on society. So it's amazing how we start with him at the Boyhood home. We learn about how he grew up surrounded by slavery, and then that coming full circle in his later years with his piloting experience. He met former slaves and abolitionists and became such a powerful voice against it. I spent so much time up here, maybe a little too much time, and I was just overwhelmed studying every brushstroke of these pieces. I especially loved seeing the charcoal sketches paired with the paintings, and this was my first time ever seeing original Rockwell art, and I am such a fan of his illustrations, so I was just pinching myself. So this unique collection was commissioned in the 1930s, and I highly recommend checking it out because Rockwell went on that same adventure that we all just went on. He went to Twain's Boyhood home and to all these buildings and to the white fence just to capture those authentic settings and the spirit of the characters. And it's just so good. It's so good. You gotta see it.
I've been searching in the dark, trusting every clue I found, but the truth has not been told. 'cause every corner of these woods is hollow. I can't see in the dark. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
Okay, I've got a little bit more time to spare, so we are gonna go check out the cave real quick too. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Or, as Mark Twain himself said,
I seemed to tire of most everything I did, but I never tired of exploring the cave.
the cave burned itself into Sam's memory and imagination. He would later recall the cave in 5 of his books, most notably in The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
We did it!
Attention everyone, we are now ready for the
It was such an amazing tour, and I found out like halfway through that I wasn't allowed to take video, so I shut it off after that. But very, very sweet tour guide and tons of corny jokes, but all of the backstory of the ties between the cave and Mark Twain and its earlier history, so worthwhile. But don't do it if you're claustrophobic, I'll tell you that right now. Look at that! We did it! Here's a timeline of the later years of Twain's life. I couldn't fit it all in, so please pause to learn more about him. Today was an unexpected grand adventure. I started out knowing only Mark Twain's stories, but now I have learned so much about his life, what it was like growing up in Hannibal, the experiences that shaped his tales, and the many tragic losses that he faced. This journey left me feeling a mix of sorrow and deep inspiration. Following your curiosity can lead to amazing discoveries, and today was proof of that. I hope this journey has inspired you as much as it did me. Now, my goal is to bring my dad here one of these days to revisit his time on the Mississippi and maybe go on a riverboat ride. That would be awesome. Afterward, I drove a couple hours to my friend Gary's place. Gary is an incredible photographer and fellow van lifer friend who I've been on tons of adventures with. We grabbed a bite to eat, I camped out on his property for the night, and we even talked about a potential trip to Copper Canyon in Mexico for a photography adventure. So that would happen at the end of this tour. I'm crossing my fingers. I don't want to get my hopes up too much quite yet, but no matter what, you're coming with me. So yes, stay tuned for the next episode where we visit one of the most unique places I have ever been. It is a massive paddle steamer that was lost in the Missouri River and rediscovered in 1988 in a cornfield. More on that soon. So amazing. Thanks you guys so much for watching. This is Lydia Keene here, over and out.
It has
See
been
ya.
a great day. That is all. Good night.